Good afternoon. I wanted to take this opportunity. I was asked to see what we could put together for regarding the church and just different things. What I kind of led toward was our congregation is exceptionally rural, and internet is not something that's easily available for everyone. And a lot of people just don't really use it a lot within our congregation. Some do, some don't. So, anyways, I decided instead of going for a long form sermon online, I think a small devotional time will actually be better. And basically, I just want to kind of set the table for what we're going to be doing for hopefully just the next week, 2 weeks, instead of the next couple months. And more or less, the idea being a weekly something to be able to tune into once a week, to be able to have something to reground us and just to look toward. And also something that whenever we do come back together as a congregation, that it just is something to be able to look forward to all the more. So, anyways, what I want to talk about today is, of course, out of the book of First Kings, chapter 19. This particular story, if you remember it, you have Elijah had fled from Jezebel, and he winds up all the way down Mount Horeb. And while there, this amazing thing happens. And I just want to read this one small passage out of all this. Of course, I recommend, for all those who know me and know how my preaching style is, I'll recommend to read the whole thing. But for this video, just to keep it kind of short and tidy, I just want to read this one passage. It says, Then he said, Go out and stand on the mountain before the Lord. And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great and strong wind tore into the mountain, and broke the rocks in pieces before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind, and after the wind an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after a fire a still small voice. And so what you find is that during all of the things that are taking place around us, it is important for us to listen for that still small voice. You see all just flat out in some places, horror that's taking place around us today. They've happened before, they will happen again. This won't be the first or the last time. But through all of it, what thing unifies, especially believers, is being able to listen to God and listen for that still small voice. And knowing that through all of this, God will carry us through. And so it's important for us to make sure that we take the opportunity to listen. I know sometimes it seems as though life crowds in on you and makes it difficult to do that, but it's something that we really don't have a choice on. We have to do this. It is an important aspect of our spiritual lives. And so I encourage you, whenever you look around, you see all the terrible things and all the happenings of the day, not to lose sight of the fact that those things, God is not in those things, but where God is speaking to our spirits, to our souls, and oftentimes through the church itself. And it's an important thing to note that the church itself oftentimes can serve as that still small voice to so many. It is a time for us to recognize whenever we ourselves may be at risk, to recognize those people who are at risk, to help those people. And for those who are at risk, to be honest and to ask for help. A lot of times people don't want to ask for help, but if you do need it, don't hesitate to ask. At the same time, it's something positive for other people to want to help others, to want to try to help people get through this time period, because that's going to strengthen our communities, our churches, the whole of the body of believers of Christ. And it's something that every one of us, it's almost innate within us wanting to help others. And so I just encourage you, read this passage, remember the story, go back and look, but most importantly, listen for that still small voice through all of the news reports, through all of the crazy things that are happening around us. Listen for that voice, most importantly. Just a couple things I want to mention in regard to personal items, just so everybody kind of knows what's going on at our home. We are doing the shelter in place thing. A lot of people may realize it, but I definitely fall into a higher risk category with this particular virus. And so we're doing what we can to kind of keep away from everyone. The last couple months at our house, we've been doing this already because we've just had sickness after sickness here. So we've just kind of taken it to a whole other new level for us. And it's one of those things where hopefully in a week, couple weeks, they find a cure, something that's guaranteed to be working and helping people. And that's what we're really hoping for. The flip side is that in regard to other personal notes, there's a lot of things that are happening around us. And I encourage you to try to get involved, to try to help others as much as you can, because in the end of all of it, that is a comfort in and of itself, knowing that you can help make the day a little better for someone else. Anyways, you all have a great day, and God bless.